All right, it might be a little bit of a clickbait title because obviously, as you probably know, I do love this Targa GTS. But I thought, as I've made a video about the things that I love about that car, I thought I'd maybe even it up just a little bit and do a little video on things that I actually, well, don't hate about the car, but maybe things that could be possibly improved about this car. And it may serve as just a little bit of a guide or a little introduction to these cars. Maybe if you are thinking about buying one of these 991 Targas, whether it be a GTS or a Carrera 4S. Guys, my name is Satch. This is the Porsche Network, where I cover anything for Porsche cars relating to adventures, road trips, DIY guides, and anything else in between. So if that sounds like something you might be interested in, please go ahead and click that subscribe button. Now, as much as I'd love to be outdoors driving the car today, it's an absolutely awful day out there. The rain has been coming down on and off all day, so I thought the best thing to do is just get inside the garage with the car and do the video in here. So the very first thing that I don't like about this car is, well, let me explain first of all. The Carrera versions of these cars, they generally have about 400 brake horsepower. The GTS, so that includes the coupe version and the Targa, they come out of the factory with about 436 brake horsepower. However, the fact that this Targa is considerably heavier than the coupe version, I think the performance suffers because of that. It doesn't feel like it's as quick as the coupe version. It doesn't feel like it should be. It doesn't feel like it's as quick as it should be, if that makes sense. Yes, I'm using high octane fuel, so you wouldn't think that would come into play. That shouldn't be an issue, but I'm just a little bit disappointed that it's not quicker than I thought it would be. Now, don't get me wrong, it's still a really, really quick car. It's stupidly quick, but it's just, I just thought it would be just that little bit quicker, almost GT3 quick. I know it's not as quick as the GT3, but yeah, that's where I am with that. I thought it would be a little bit quicker. Because it's a little bit heavier, it's just not as fast. Right, so number 2 on this list is a question that I get asked quite a bit about this car actually, and it is, what is the wind noise like and what is the buffeting like? You know, when you're driving down a motorway, maybe 20, 30, 40 miles an hour, and maybe one of your kids in the back seat of the car puts the window down and you hear that really horrible sort of thumping wind noise. Well, it's kind of a bit like that. This car does suffer from that. There's no getting away from it, but they have put something in the car to try and help it, but it does help to an extent, but I feel like it could be better. Let me show you what I mean. Now, as far as I understand it, when the car's driving, let's say the car's driving that way, the airflow is going to be coming over the windscreen and over this back end of the car. But what happens in the middle bit is air apparently gets caught and it's sort of bouncing up and down in this little area here, which causes the buffeting noise. Now, you can see there's an adjustable bar here, which does help to an extent. So I would say probably you can generally drive to about, with the windows down, probably about 60, 65 miles per hour. Then you'll start to hear the buffeting noise. Press this adjustable bar here, which isn't very adjustable. There we go. It's an adjustable bar, so this comes up. It doesn't look as good when this bar is up, but that gives you a little bit more play and a little bit, it allows you to get that little bit faster without hearing the buffeting. So I would say with this up, you can probably get to about 75 miles per hour, maybe 80 miles per hour, without the buffeting noise coming into play. Just be aware, you know, the chances are you're probably going to be doing slower speeds in any case with this roof down. Now, some of you might have noticed this car does have the black wheels on. Previously, I had these wheels on, the silver wheels. I'm not 100% convinced with these, so I'll put the black ones on for now because I have got another set of wheels coming. In fact, I may as well show you. So these are the RS Spider alloys. I've got 3 of these. I've got 2 rears, I've got 1 front. I'm still looking for 1 front, so if anybody knows of 1 front available, 8.5 wide, 20 inch, then I'd be very interested to hear from you. Obviously, they are the rest of the wheels there. So next up is the fact that unlike most modern convertibles, and in fact pretty much all convertibles, with this Targa GTS or with the 991 Targa in general, you can't be driving at a slow speed and actually put the roof up, as I say, like you can in most cars. So with that in mind, you literally have to stop the car, pull over, and then at that point you can actually put the roof of the car up. And it takes, from button to button, it takes about 22, I think it is, 22 seconds. It's a beautiful piece of robotic technology, but I just wish you could do it maybe while you're, you know, cruising at maybe 5, 10, 15 miles per hour. And that's it. Just one of those annoying little things. And I think to myself, well, why have, you know, people like Mazda and everybody else, even Porsche, they've done it themselves with the Boxster. You're able to drive the car slowly, but why with the Targa are you not allowed to? Well, I can probably understand, because obviously this has a lot of moving parts which extend beyond the back of the vehicle. The Boxster doesn't. So that's the only reason I can think of. And we're going to stick with the roof on this car for the next thing that I don't like. There are two ways to open the roof on this particular car. Both of them, they're just a little bit annoying. So for example, we've got the key here. You can do it via the key, press the bottom button, and that will then open the roof. But it doesn't allow you to just simply press the button and then it does the roof. You've got to keep your finger on the button pressed at all times. Now, to keep this button pressed in, you do need to exert a little bit of force, quite a bit of force actually, on this button. And if you take your finger off at any time, well, then it just completely stops. And then you've got to put your finger back on, and then it doesn't continue to do what you originally wanted it to do. If you took your finger off, you would probably want it to continue doing the job it was doing, which was take the roof off, but no, it's gone the other way. It's the same story on the inside. This is the button to close the roof. This is the button to open the roof, but you do need to keep your finger pulled on it at all times in order to get the operation done. Well, I sure hope you can hear me over this bloody rain. The final thing that I don't like about this car, it's not necessarily this car, it's a 991 in general. You know, this is quite a good looking exotic car, I would say, as far as Porsche are concerned. And one thing which is quite embarrassing, you know, when you're pulling up at a set of traffic lights or zebra crossing or to park, the car does have quite a bit of brake squeal, which I certainly wouldn't expect from a car like this. Now, I've had two previous 991 generations. I've had a white 991 Carrera S and also a black one as well. The exact same thing happened on those cars as well. I did take it to the Porsche dealer and they completely dismissed it and said it was just a characteristic of the car and the way the cars are built. Now, I don't believe that for 1 second. I can't get away with that. I don't believe how the likes of Aston Martin, Lamborghini, you know, Ferrari, etc., they can make their cars without having brake squeal, yet the Carrera S and the GTS versions in the Porsche 991 range, you know, all seem to have brake squeal. So it's something I'd be curious to know as to whether you guys have brake squeal on your 991 as well, and if you've been able to do anything other than the usual things, you know, obviously putting the copper grease on the back of the brake pads, things like that. So I hope this video has maybe given you a little bit of an insight as to what it's like to maybe own one of these cars, or maybe the things that you may well come up against if you are looking to buy a Targa GTS. Look, at the end of the day, the things that I'm talking about, they would never have put me off buying this car. It's a car that I really, really do still absolutely love, and I'm pleased I bought it and I don't want to sell it. Guys, I can't thank you enough for tuning into this video, sticking around till the end to watch it. If you're not already subscribed, then please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And you can also follow me on Instagram for daily Porsche content as well. So if you do want to see more Porsche hints, tips, reviews, guides, adventures, road trips, anything like that, then please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'll be back with another Porsche Network video real soon. Lots more content coming. Whatever it is you're up to at the minute, whatever project you've got going on, guys, keep the faith.